Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
I'm waiting for you to notice something.
Your dumb haircut? Your stupid glasses? I'm just going to keep doing this.
Okay, well, my dumb haircut is one. And as you know, if you don't like my haircut, wait 10 minutes because my wife can't stop with the recutting it. Wait. Here's what I hear all day. Wait. And she's coming at me with a scissor, and it's not because our divorce lawyers are in court. I can't believe you don't know there's anything different. I can't believe you don't. Well, first of all, I think my background looks great.
It does. Doors.
Doors, but very clear. Nothing like, oh, why?
You're like Jim Morrison on the Ed Sullivan Show, surrounded by doors.
I never even got that symbolism. Although I did see some of the worst slow motion thing. It's like they took him out to a park the day of the shoot near Ed Sullivan Hall and said, "You walk towards Robbie, and you walk over this way."
Ed Sullivan, I want to kill you.
Okay. I have adjusted my mic.
Oh, God.
Nothing?
Nothing. Why do I give a shit?
Because it took. Okay, I'm going to explain to you. I don't expect.
I can't. It seems really patronizing for me to go, you learned how to use a boom stand, Andy.
Okay, well.
The most self-explanatory piece of equipment in the sound realm.
Hold on a second, okay?
Yeah.
This is how I would imagine I would try to stop myself from crying.
Yeah.
If I was
pinching the bridge of your nose.
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
Now fan your eyes.
Like this?
Yeah.
That's why am I afraid of makeup getting in my...
That's what women in heavy makeup do to stop themselves from crying.
Okay. Don't say heavy makeup because there's a lot of rumors in the Thought Spiral chat room. That's a world record. I forgot what I was saying during the setup.
He started thinking, good job with the funny voice. What's happening?
It's not a good sign, Josh. We laugh at it now. But 2 years from now, when Susan's with my lawyer at the home with a thing going, sign it, fuckface. Oh, see? I thought it would be nice if I took my time instead of pouring the coffee. Pour the coffee when I get to the table.
Yeah. So you brought a thermos into the mix now.
Yes, and I just spilled coffee all over my nose.
I'm so upset you've brought more props involved.
Yeah, but I like this size of a thing. I like this size of a container. See?
Is that the ceramic version of the New York takeout cup?
It's really
or is that an
great.
actual paper cup?
Our friend Steve and Renee bought this for us, and it's one of the best gifts I've ever received. And I do not want to turn the show into a promotional opportunity, but if you go to Razzle Dazzle and you order the Greek cup ceramic if you look on the bottom, I'll sign it with a Sharpie, $9.
Huh.
All right, look. Okay, I have a lot of things to talk about today.
All right, good.
Okay.
I hope they come out
First
better
of all,
than the Greek coffee cup gag.
Well, first of all, there's this.
You just took a picture of something, it sounds like.
What are you trying to be like a Huell Hauser? No, why would he do that? He's not on the radio.
That's amazing, the way you mishandled your phone like that. I haven't seen anything like that outside of the home.
You know, I noticed that even with Huell Hauser, which you haven't sworn off of, you still have there's a certain tired level to it.
Well, it's morning.
It's morning.
Okay, so you've sent me a picture.
Yeah.
All right, and it's of a text exchange.
Right. So this is the text exchange. Do you want me to read it? Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. You do it.
Thankfully, I'll do me. You can do you.
Okay.
Since now I know.
This is okay, and this is after the. Should we say when it was after the Vikings won? Because I didn't want to bother you. I was watching in the past, so obviously, I didn't want to bother you, and when I didn't know what was going to happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, wasn't that great? Yeah, until we lost. You see that type of thing doesn't work. Exactly. Okay, so go ahead.
This is weird for me. I'm not used to being the non-blue character in a text exchange.
Is that because the blue character is always the home team?
Yes.
Well, how would you? All right, you're doing very well.
You said something about the game,
right?
Which is cut off in your little photo.
Well,
I said unbelievable, and I misspelled unbelievable because I was literally counting on spell check.
You know what? I'm pretty good at spelling, and I still don't see it. It's EIV?
It's the extra E in there before a bull.
Oh, really? Oh, I would never have caught that because I would have been focusing on the IE except after.
No, I literally knew I was doing it as I typed it, but I was like, spell check's got my back.
Nope. You know what they say.
All right, but that's besides the point.
But can I make a joke, though?
Sure.
It's I before E. I before E except after Allison's Yorkshire pudding. All right, what? That's all I got. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I always say it's I before E, except in my name.
That's so true. And that sounds like the opening of you, 17-year-old you, with you were like 2 feet tall. Hi, everybody. No,
I was exactly like this, but with hair. That's all. Okay, so you said, what a game or whatever, and I said, unbelievable.
I come back with, the Vikings are like the Jets with more hope. They make a lot of, this is me, of course. Yeah. They make a lot of Jets-style errors, tripping over the feet of the center.
And I wrote back, I'd prefer you don't compare them regardless.
Now, was that the end of the exchange? Nobody wonders. No, I apologized for it, which I think it shows growth on my part. But here's what I was thinking about today, what that was about with me and you and trying to get you to, is that if I had done it in the healthy way, I wouldn't have done it right after the game. I would have done it in the podcast.
Okay. Let me just stop you there. There's nothing unhealthy about banter about a football game that's going on when it involves, there's nothing unhealthy about this text exchange.
No, but I realized afterwards what it was about. Yeah. What it was about was when I look at Kirk Cousins' face, I don't know Kirk Cousins, right?
Let's stipulate that. And I don't follow the Vikings very closely, but it seems to me like if I was going to apply it to the Jets, I go, oh, is it like a Sanchez thing or is it like a Gino? Didn't we even have that Gino guy? Gino, who is that guy? Gino Smith? Gino Toretta? Gino Smith?
Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gino Smith. Oh, it's like one of these situations. Hasn't Kirk Cousins been on the verge of having a good season for 40 years? That's me applying Jets logic to your team.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the look on Kirk Cousins' face. To me, if that was a Jet, I go, he's worried. He's scared. If that's a Jet, he's going to go, I got to throw the ball. So it's not even about the Jets or the Vikings. It's all about me and how I see things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
What doesn't make sense is the psychoanalysis of this text exchange.
When we first started the show, you loved all the therapy stuff.
5 years ago, and it was a theory.
Are you saying
it was a premise? It was a pitch. It wasn't even something I put into practice.
Let me get this straight.
Look, if you're saying that you try to make everything about you and your experience, I'm with you.
No. That's true. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to continue a theme that I started when I was rooting for the Mets. And the theme is, and this is my spiritual lesson for the year, maybe.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
I wish I wasn't here.
From a football game.
Oh, God, shut the fuck up. You going to continue? Yes. Okay, so my spiritual lesson for the year is, even though I was taught that things are not going to go well, that my parents taught me who's calling and why are they calling? What did you do to cause that siren sound outside in the street? So from having grown up that way, I watched the Mets like, oh, they're going to fuck it up. They're going to, oh, good, they got a base hit. They're going to fuck it up and fuck it up. Oh, Diaz closed. That's not the way a man should watch a sport. Or
I don't know. I think there are plenty of people like that who watch sports like that. I think Vikings fans in particular are waiting for the last minute shoe to drop. There's a history of that with Vikings, good, happy seasons, and with a really, really sad little thing at the end.
I'm just saying you can enjoy sports
and the Vikings
more.
have never won a Super Bowl. So
no, that's where I disagree with you. That's why I disagree with you. I think I know a little bit more about the Minnesota Vikings than you do. I'm winking at you. This is a bit. I keep thinking that Joe Kapp. Why do I mix this up? Was Joe Kapp not the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings?
Joe Kapp was briefly the Minnesota.
And didn't they win that year?
No, they did not win the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl 4 times.
With the fearsome foursome?
Yeah, never won it. Never got a dinner.
So you should be more pessimistic about them than I am about the Jets even, but then we have to go to how the management is.
Well, I mean, I think, because it's New York, everything is amplified. When you're shitty on the biggest stage in the world.
You got Mike and the Mad Dog. You got the Christopher Russo. What the hell are they doing?
Although, Minnesota has its own little version of that, but mostly it's just, Lutheran people pouting.
First of all, I feel like I'm on this journey with you, and I'll say journey as much as a Kardashian will. I don't care. We're on a journey.
But Minnesota is filled with people whose Mondays are ruined by a Sunday Vikings loss.
And I was just about to say that when I would play in Minnesota, when I was a working comedian, I was at I once came in the winter, not for Acme, I came for a corporate gig. And I was staying at a hotel where they were having a press conference. And it was very exciting because the people from Minneapolis, they all show up for the press. They love that team.
Yeah.
Is that a terrible story? Why don't you just let me tell my stories?
Yeah.
God damn you.
No,
God damn you.
No, in fact, keep talking. I don't care.
So I feel like, I don't know, I think my point with that was that I feel like close to you. Like I'm rooting for Minnesota. Well, and then I was rooting for them because, see, I'm on a weird thing. I like Buffalo in a weird way because I didn't think the Jets would ever be competitive again.
Yeah.
But the Jets are competitive, so I actually was rooting for the Vikings.
Huh. So the enemy of your enemy is your friend, sort of rooting is what you're saying.
I want you to say one thing. We're getting along better now. We buried that thing. I mean, I never told people about the gun or the strangling or the pleading for sex. Can you make an anecdote about that?
No,
leave out the sex.
I don't want to.
Leave out the sex.
Right.
That's what your note always is.
That's what your wife said on the wedding night, isn't it?
Remember when I was pitching you Sherman Oaks, private investigator?
Yes.
And I said, he has his wife, Susan. It's not my wife, but it's Susan. But he's always flirting, and the ladies love him. And they look. You said right away, The ladies don't love you, and don't put that in the script.
Right.
I said, well, why not? I almost sleep with people. No. It's not me. Who's the people who most say it's not me? Woody Allen, right? It's not me. I made it about a stand-up comic named me who dates Diane Keaton like I do.
Right.
But it's not about me.
Right.
What do you gain from that? And don't get me to a Woody Allen talk.
How can I not?
Well, look, I want to say one thing to you right now, and I hope you take this the right way. I don't really care anymore. I love Woody Allen now.
Okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say.
You're a bad person.
Too soon, ye?
I forgot.
I couldn't sell it by the time I did. But I've been walking around the house doing that.
What? Too soon, ye?
Yeah, but I've been doing it by, going further with it without going too far.
Yeah.
If Woody Allen, I would put him in charge of an orphanage. Too soon, yeah. I still just think that's the great. I'm not saying I'm bringing the joke back. I'm just saying it's one of the best jokes of all time.
I'm so glad. So glad
that I wrote it.
Yeah. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
There's a certain nasty.
Steal all you want. We'll make more.
Well, that just me. It's so funny because you just saying that made me a little depressed. Just thinking about Leno.
Yeah.
And selling and doing those commercials.
That's all you want. We'll make more.
And then he says he gave away. He has a number of stories. I think one of his stories is he doesn't touch his Tonight Show money.
Right.
And the other one is that I think he gave away. Maybe he did give away all the Doritos of money to charity because I just like to make commercials. We'll make more.
Maybe so.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Weren't you one? Okay. Now I have several things to talk about, but I'm willing.
Let's go through yours, and then if we still have time left, we'll get to mine.
Maybe. Did you get my text beforehand? I'm going to San Diego next week.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I don't think you actually sent such a thing. Oh, there it is. Boom.
Would you have gone back and seen that?
Probably not.
Maybe.
All I saw was ready. That came up after.
Right. And then later on, I would yell at you when we'd have one of our.
Before we start, I wanted to let you know I'll be in San Diego from next Tuesday through Friday.
I don't sound like an idiot, Josh.
All right,
would you read it like me?
All right.
Yeah, do it like me.
Before we start, I wanted to let you know that I'll be in San Diego from next Tuesday through Friday. Don't hit me. We return late on Friday, so I don't know what's going to happen. So don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
I don't know. Don't hit me character. It cuts a little closer to the bone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty serious. I never knew you. Hey, I wish I'd known earlier. You felt that way.
So do you think you can take your computer to San Diego and do a session from there sometime during the week?
No.
Okay. Okay. Then we'll just have a Monday show next week with no questions.
No. Why don't we?
Then Andy ruined the show. All right, everybody. Good job.
No, we've
makes
had
it easier for me.
Once before, where I think on my honeymoon, not my honeymoon, but one of my what's it called?
I don't know.
One of my trips. When I tripped last time to San Diego, you asked me if I could bring my laptop, which I did bring, and we still didn't do it. What is happening on Saturday with you?
I edit the show on Saturday, and it takes fucking hours.
Well, maybe we can do two.
No questions next week, people. We're just doing Monday.
Why don't we do 2 days of questions this week?
Because it's already Friday. No, wait.
No. Thursday would be Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Of this week?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But you know what?
I'm happy to say no questions next week, everybody. We're just doing Monday.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
A short show?
I don't know. It depends how long you bloviate.
Oh, should I save the stuff? It's very weird. It's very, very strange. Do you often tell people when they go on vacation, will you bring your recording gear? I'm not even saying I'm on vacation.
Laptop and a microphone, Andy. It's not like you're bringing a recording truck.
That's not what it is. It's at Tuesday I'm going down there.
Yeah.
Wednesday I'm going to see the family. Okay, let's not go.
I just asked. I didn't.
That's true.
It started with me going, do you want to bring your stuff? And then you acted like I was a dick for asking.
I'm very sorry. I apologize.
We've done it before where we have recorded shows from other places more than once.
I apologize.
Okay, thank you. I accept your apology.
Thank you. Now, I wanted to say something to you, and you know what? I really do apologize.
No need. No need.
Me for how you treat me.
Okay.
Is that like a Kevin Nealon bit?
No.
No. What does he do? Shut up.
He does funny shit.
Why do I do the softballs right down home plate? Okay, so here's what I've been thinking. Twitter might be gone. I mean, we don't know. It could be. It's just really not. It wouldn't even matter. And it's not because we say so. Right. It could just go down.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, and I'm being facetious, but maybe we will just communicate through podcast. Why can't we just do it through podcasts?
Everyone just sends podcasts to each other?
No, you, me, and you.
Ah.
Everyone just sends podcasts. Well, that's what we're doing. That's what it is now, isn't it? Basically.
Close.
Do you know they have these podcasts? Who watches this on what's going to happen Mrs. Agatha Christie. You're the criminal, and you write the story. You dress up in a costume. You solve them. Who the fuck is going to go from true crime to parlor party games on the internet? Okay.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Next on the list.
Okay. Next on the list. I think I've told you, and I think I've told you over and over and over again that you say, I don't say TV's bad. You say TV's bad.
No, I don't say it's bad. No, it's not TV.
What is it then?
Oh, it's not TV. Not TV. It's those commercials that get me. It's not TV. Not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
All right, thank you. I saw one commercial that I just had to tell you about. It's called, and I think I'm going to get the name wrong. Liver Right, Liver Right. I think is the name of it.
Both times?
Liver Right.
Twice or twice?
I think it's liver right, liver, and I think I got the last word. Liver right, liver health right. Liver right.
Are you sure it's
liver
not,
right.
Are you sure it's not liver deep, mountain high?
It's liver right, liver right, liver wrong. Liver right, liver right. Liver right, liver.
I'm going to shoot myself if you say anything with liver in it again.
Okay, then the other one was, and again, this was not happening during the programming side.
Yeah. Okay.
This was happening during the show. And it's guys in a limo, and it's something about a stretch limo, and they got a limo, and then at some point, they all get texts from each other saying, I love you, or something. I love you, and then they all look at each other. They're not crying.
Yeah.
But they're all, right? Okay, I don't know what that was, but it was like...
Wow, I think you need to at least go back with the DVR when something like this happens.
No. It's the guys. Okay, no, I'll tell you exactly what it is. You are enjoying luxury. Luxury like you could never have imagined. But also, you are able to communicate intimately with your fellow workers. I love you, I love you, Struthers. I love you, Wilson. Like that.
So
I love you. I love you. I love you. I don't.
So is HR called at the end of this?
Has it ever worked that you turned your head to the side and were able to dislodge something that helps you figure out what I was saying?
No, that's true.
Whatever. Okay, so that's that.
No, that wasn't even a thing.
Oh. The juxtaposition between, I think the thing that was funny to me was that they're just trying to jam everything they can into the commercial. Luxury, this is the greatest car. You'll be treated like a king.
Well, was it a commercial for cars?
Mm-hmm.
But it was
stretch limos.
Really?
Yeah, but it wasn't called stretch limos. Who would rent something called a stretch limo unless you were playing the Riviera Hotel in Vegas?
Yeah.
Where they would take you on the big thing and you'd see the...
So it was an ad for a limo company?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Limo service. Like, it's not Music Express, but it's something like that.
All right.
Is that something? Music Express?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is a car service.
Thank you. I'm delighted with my progression as a Jew. No. So that's that. That's this. That's that.
Dave Chappelle enjoys your progression as a Jew as well.
Oh, let's talk about that only because I'm not exercised by it, but when I watched it, I didn't mind it when I was watching it, so I think it just went right by me because I don't feel threatened as a Jewish person, right?
All right.
So I didn't care that he was saying something about, but isn't it true that the Jews all run it? I don't know what his point was with that, but I think generally what his point, and I really think this is kind of what he does, he's like, I'm doing this material here that you have to admit is hilarious material, which a lot of his material is very funny. I thought that night. I don't remember what he did, but some of it was very funny. The thing he did with the Kyrie and Kanye. Okay. Why are you looking at me like that?
No, I'm surprised because I found it completely anti-Semitic.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I thought it absolutely proved my point about anti-Semitism being a second-class prejudice.
You know, it's so interesting because I feel like I did a little bending over backwards thing.
Yeah.
Not bending over backwards, but I was so waiting for him to say something about trans people that I wasn't paying attention to it.
No, the whole message to me seemed to be, hey, Kyrie and Kanye, you're doing anti-Semitism wrong. The way to do it is trick people into agreeing with you.
That could be a joke if he didn't have other material that hates groups. In other words, that could be a joke. It could be a joke that I could do. It was kind of my point last night, was like, I could say something because you'd know I'm Jewish.
Right.
So, like, for example, I have a joke where I go, you know, Jews are often very self-hating, you know, and people say, well, it's like, how can Jews hate other Jews? I go, well, you spend a day at the temple where I grew up. You know what I mean? So it's like that joke's about my own thing, saying Jews are obnoxious, but I can say it because I'm Jewish. Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. No, his point was, you're right to hate Jews, you just can't say it.
I understand that was the joke.
Well,
that was the joke.
Okay.
What I'm saying is,
but if it's in the context of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
If it was wound in a sophisticated routine that looked at the foibles of all stereotypes, somehow making that point, maybe like Barry Sobel used to do about, oh, I'm wrong, black people don't like this, Jews don't have that. It could work, and I think his mind is so brilliant that it totally went by me. I'm willing to admit, well, not that we're arguing, but it totally went by me, so that when my friend Zach Wollner said to me on Twitter, I completely missed it the first time. When he said, what about the Jewish thing? I thought he was like, I didn't even get it, that it was, and then I had to think about the setback. So I think that's how on edge I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Do you think it was so transparent that he was saying, I also hate the Jews?
Well, it sort of came through to me. But the
Holocaust joke was,
well, the sort of subtext to him is that black prejudice supersedes all other prejudice.
Yeah, the subtext.
There's always that subtext with what he's saying at this point. I mean, there hasn't always been that subtext, but it feels like that's, you know.
I wonder if we're giving him too much credit. I think he's very, very angry.
No, I felt like he was smugly. I really felt like he was like pretty smugly pleased that he got an audience to laugh at his anti-Semitic points.
And how about when he goes, "I'm just about."
Let me just also clarify. It's not like I'm wildly offended by this.
No, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying is his point seems to be, how can I cleverly disparage groups as opposed to the bald face criticism that he did with trans people.
What? Well, now that I'm in retrospect,
but I think he's an incredibly funny guy, and I think he's an incredibly smart guy. But that's where I part ways with him. Essentially, you know, I also think he's one of the most arrogant people I've ever seen take a stage.
He's an arrogant and a bad intentioned person, I think, in many ways.
But
like he's mendacious.
But his skills are unassailable, I would say, in terms of just, you know, the skills that it takes to make stand-up comedy.
Right, but you know what? It's almost like I was thinking about this over the weekend. Here's a guy who forever has done 2 hours a night, 2.5 hours a night.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
So there's just something narcissistic built into the way that he looks at himself.
Yeah, there's always the because I can factor, you know.
Right.
And it is interesting that, you know, there is a certain interesting quality to him in the current climate of there is power in deciding I can't be canceled, you know?
Yeah. Who said he could, though?
Huh?
But who said he could? Only the people who use cancel culture in the wrong, because I don't think cancel culture exists, really.
No, well, I mean, I think it only exists. I mean, it is a self-fulfilling phenomenon.
Like David Duke is a Nazi.
Right.
So if he says Nazi things.
Right. That's not cancellation. He's a fucking social outcast. Right. But what I'm saying is, it adds an extra level of arrogance to it. In the sense of, you know, take the question out of your mind whether I'm going to get in trouble, because I'm not. You know?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
It's that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the other thing where he goes, I'm getting tired of talking. He goes, I'm getting tired of talking to you people. I mean, he just is. There's no funny comedian. The greatest comedians of all time, none of them were funny unless it was a character that they were saying, I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you. It's more indicative of someone like me, who, if you hear me talk about intelligence, you know that I have a problem with my intelligence.
Right.
So it's like he wants to be a messiah, and he doesn't have a problem. He doesn't see how he has a messianic complex, which I hope I'm using that right.
Yeah, I mean, well, he certainly doesn't have a messianic message.
Well, I think his messianic message is. Then it's interesting because
his messianic messages is all speech should be free and not met with critical thinking.
Right, which is a good right.
You know,
but that's only self-serving.
He closed his set with, it shouldn't be this scary to
I know that's right.
Say anything. You know, and yeah, it should. There's lots of things that it should be scary to say, and that it should be rightfully scary to say, because you'll be punished for them because society doesn't accept them.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is, which you're not disagreeing with, what I'm saying is it's all a bunch of bullshit in a certain level, because he's saying he doesn't have he doesn't have the moral high ground. He has an amoral high ground, because it's even like
because comedy is a sort of amoral high ground in and of itself, unless you assign
it.
Yeah.
But he's saying like
comics will always default to the punchline over the point.
Well, that's in fact what he does in fact, even in those jokes. For example, he says, Kanye doesn't even know that there was a Holocaust, right? Well, that's only funny if you don't land on, what, the Jews really do control the media. So even though Kanye was wrong, in other words, it's like, I think he's on purpose mixing all of these things up, because I don't think he has a coherent reason about why he's saying terrible things like I'm beating up trans people. He doesn't have a reason for it. He's not facing that he could say something damaging, or that he could apologize for something. That's a dangerous thing when you think you never should have to apologize.
Well, and his point about both of them is that you did it wrong. It wasn't that what you said was wrong, is that you did it wrong.
Right. Yeah. Trans people come to me with if you come to me in my castle with a proper set of grievances, and you offer me, I mean, it's just, he's almost crazy in a way. And there's a certain insane part to it, not clinically insane, but when he says like that in that special, and though she was coming to church, or whatever he says, like the trans person was coming to church.
Right.
She was gathering near the stage to hear this is bullshit. This never happened.
Wasn't it going to school? That's
what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm going to write it down, but I don't listen to the podcast. Oh, I'm so cool. Go to school.
And he said, and comics call it going to school.
Yeah, he lied. It's like, and then that's the thing where, that is the thing where he lies.
Comics call it watching the guy's set. That's what we call it. Did you watch his set? Yeah.
Yeah, no. And in the comedy profession, we have an expression that is called, we professor it. We scholastic it. I thought I'd have more lingo, but I didn't have any more lingo. So, but the other thing is, we shouldn't take our eye off the ball, and the ball is that it's still, I thought the David Itzkoff article was an excellent article. He's an excellent writer, but he kind of like lays it out for you. He lays out the tradition that after because people were mixing up everything. After the 2016 thing, in retrospect, now that I see he's an asshole, I probably shouldn't have liked him as much in 2016, but he just had a pretty funny thing about, we'll give Trump a chance. I mean, it was not anything. It was funny. Right. What he did. And then in the 2020, I forget exactly what he did then. But the point was, and that the article also says he's never really apologized. He's never apologized for anything. So it's like it lays it out in a way where you can see why there's only
why would they hire him? Only because someone, in my opinion, has their head up their ass, has no idea, doesn't understand the politics. I don't think Lorne Michaels is going, yeah, this is going to be good. I'll have people hate the show. I think I don't think he thinks.
I think that's completely underestimating Lorne Michaels.
Well, but in other words, he likes that he hates trans people, or what is it that Lorne likes about, what is he, and I don't want to put you in the lawyer thing. Right. What is Lorne saying is the reason why
Lorne's saying that Dave Chappelle is a controversial figure who will generate a whole lot of talk leading up to the episode. A bunch of people who tune in both to hate watch and to like watch him. And on Monday, a bunch of people like us will still be talking about him, and there'll be clips that from his monologue, which he did, from his 15-minute monologue, which also fills up a nice chunk of show. And our ratings will be big, and people will be talking about Saturday Night Live. And even you at the beginning of this conversation didn't have a negative vibe about Chappelle's set.
Okay, but that's unfair. That's unfair because that's saying that that's an unfair statement. Well, that's saying that I was fine with his set. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not fine with his set. He shouldn't be doing a set. I'm just saying, as I was listening to it, I was so listening for the trans stuff, and because I'm Jewish, I didn't even hear the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't mean I was fine with it. I really
wasn't. I didn't mean it accusatorily. I meant it more as plenty of people are fine with this set. Because
I never had any doubt that he could be funny without being racist or whatever it is. I mean, a trans hater.
Right.
Right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know if I have more.
Here's the thing. I think we've had this conversation a few times. I think there's a certain misunderstanding. I don't think he's a dummy. Like he's not stupid like I am. He's an intelligent person. He knows what he's doing.
Lorne or Chappelle are we talking about?
I'm talking about Lorne Michaels, okay. Right? So I'm just saying my opinion is he helped elect, NBC helped elect Trump by putting The Apprentice on. And at some point, just like CNN helped elect Trump, at some point you can say these fucking people are what's the word?
Conspirators.
But they're responsible. They are responsible in some way for it's like Jeff Zucker is responsible for Trump getting elected by running hours and hours of footage on. I get what the evil intent people would do. My argument would be that if you had a show that didn't just not care that Dice Clay said horrible things and I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins because I think there's a bad taste in your mouth about Saturday Night Live. And then when it starts to go downhill, people root against it all the time. And that wouldn't necessarily be true if it had a creator who he doesn't have to be an asshole to have a popular show.
Yeah, I mean, my only argument with you is that I don't know how any of that matters in year 47 of a show. It's like he's been through every cycle over 47.
Well, no, it's not going to change. And I think what you're saying is it's not going to change. I'm not asking for the director's cut of I Wish I Was Bitter to come out. That's not what I'm asking for. Releasing my extra Lorne Michaels. I think the only reason why we're talking about it now is because it just happened now.
Right.
I was frankly shocked. I've ever used the word frankly before. I really was shocked. It's not like it's like, I'm not saying he should have been booked under any circumstances, but usually it's like, he just did a big movie. This guy did a big thing. It's like, I think we were kind of like putting that nasty chapter behind us.
No, I mean, I think they're trying. I mean, I think his thing is let's make Dave Chappelle a post-election tradition because we've now done it 3 times.
Right. Yeah. I think that indicates a blind spot in a way. In other words, like it's like there is a part of those like I believe I am a taste maker. I can't do it, Lorne Michaels. I'm a taste maker.
I mean, I totally agree that it's a blind spot. I just think that it's a blind spot created by a more cynical vision.
Yes, I'm not. I apologize for in any way saying that he was as stupid as me. What? No. No. No.
No, what I disagree, what I took issue with is assuming that Lorne Michaels doesn't know the controversy around.
Right, you're correct. You are correct about that. He knows what he's doing. It's not like, but I would still argue.
And he may have a free speech position that is more extreme than mine too, personally.
But I don't think he does. It's a convenient free speech. He would not put on a Nazi.
I would tend to agree with that.
He wouldn't put on a Nazi.
Well, he put on Trump.
Well, that's true. I know, right? What wouldn't he do? That's true. He's been consistent. He has been consistent. Okay, if David Duke hosts the show sometime this year, I think then you'll just say, you know what? I don't think he has his finger to the wind. I don't think his fingers on the pulse of what's happening.
I don't know. I feel like they decided, and it was perfect. The decision to go with a very black themed episode was cool. Mm-hmm. The decision to throw the Jews under the bus and do the black themed episode.
Hey, can I ask you a question? The other thing was that I thought the whole thing was bogus. With like, I'm too busy to be in this next sketch.
No, it was just an arrogant thing of just like, I'm gonna host the show.
I think there were people who complained on the inside, obviously, and they wanted to make it seem like there was nobody who complained on the inside. There had to be people who were complaining, just as human beings.
Yes,
they have a non-binary person on the show.
Yes, who did seemingly complain, or at least obliquely complain. It seemed like.
Right. And so that's what it was like. Then his management saying they submitted. Who manages these people? Is it Dave Becky? Oh, Andy Kindler closed his diatribe against right and wrong. Hey, is this the first Monday after the election?
Yeah, but we talked on Friday.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it got into this show.
Yes. Yesterday. So it got into last week's show.
We can certainly say it's gotten better as the week has gone on. Yes, it's even better.
We've secured the Senate since last show.
And people keep saying, oh, well, then no one's going to come. Well, people don't keep saying. Warnock's people keep telling me if I don't contribute, everything's going off a cliff. But I think that people are going to want to come out and vote, because if you vote for Herschel Walker, you're voting for a guy who will have no power. No power. But I don't think the people who would vote for Herschel Walker will not vote for Warnock on the power issue, probably, right?
You wouldn't think so. But my assumption is that less of the people who voted for Herschel Walker the first time will come out, since it's not for the Senate.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping.
And since there's not another Republican candidate that they do like that they can vote for, and then
you mean the Libertarian guy?
Well, no, Brian Kemp.
Oh, right, but they've also voted for that Libertarian guy. That people, they're predicting that 2% of people won't come out and vote.
Probably
nobody who's a fan of
I would assume most of the vote for that 2% was people who wouldn't vote for Warnock but couldn't vote for Walker.
Right, and they had to get to the poll to get for Kemp.
Steve the Libertarian, but no, I mean, my assumption, I think that the Democratic machine that has been set up by Stacey Abrams in that state, despite it not benefiting her, will benefit Warnock quite a bit. And I think what there isn't going to be as much enthusiasm for Herschel Walker, I don't think.
I think the state's changing. I think it's a purple state on the way to being a purple state. I think it was a red state on the way to being a purple state. I think it's changing. Now, I've said this before, and I've been wrong.
The fact that they have 2 Democratic senators currently says that there's something to that.
Ossoff
and Warnock are the 2 current senators.
And I've often thought about that before, but I'm going to tell you right now, places I don't think are coming around anytime soon. Alabama.
Right.
And I wonder, is it from voter suppression? Arkansas.
Mississippi.
Yeah, and I'm sure voter suppression has to do with it, but I don't see them turning around in those states anytime. But Texas, my friend, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm no political. I'm not a. What do you think about my theory? And here's my theory, because I wouldn't say I'm a wordsmith. I wouldn't say I'm Edwin Newman. I wouldn't say that I'm a third thing. But I do notice things like when people say my name, ladies and gentlemen, Andley, when they used to say my name to introduce me, they would go Andley Kindler, Andley Kindler. And the reason why they do is because the second part of my name is Kindler. So they're thinking about the Kindler, and so they go Andley when they're thinking about the Kindler.
Yeah.
So the same thing is also...
And then when they throw in a fuckface at the end.
Well, that's just... I forgot what I was going to... I don't know why...
Andley Kindler is what you were talking about. Why people say Andley Kindler.
Oh, so people say... for the same reason people say pundits when the word is pundit.
Yeah.
But people say pundit. They can't... It's just people... It's an accent thing almost. Dialect thing. Pundit.
Yeah.
Let me hear you say it.
Pundit.
Okay, but I want you to... I don't know what happened there. Why would that disappoint me?
I was waiting for my score.
That's like me at the home when I see it's pudding. I don't want pudding. What? Why'd you bring me the pudding? You said you liked it yesterday. I hate everything that's going to happen in the future. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially with you getting into the... I watch a lot of true crime. You better not start the old, you took out insurance policies in my name. It's the worst, easiest way to get caught.
No, I take out reverse mortgages in your name.
Oh. Look, I haven't seen Tom Shelby. Oh, you know what?
I'd like to take out a reverse mortgage for Andley Kindler.
Hey, do you think this is a good byproduct of interest rates going up? And Elizabeth Warren says they shouldn't go up so fast, and she might be right.
Yeah.
But you don't see Tom Selleck as much anymore. I bet reverse mortgages are no longer a thing.
No, you still see him. You're just missing.
You do?
You're just going to the bathroom, apparently, at that point.
Well, I'm getting a lot from my own bank.
40 times a day.
That's not nice. Not nice. They in fact said that not only do I need Flomax, I need I now subscribe to Flomax Plus.
Yeah.
I subscribe.
Uh-huh.
Come on, if I was older, just 5 years older, I'd be on the condo circuit doing that right now.
Sure.
Flomax. I'm going to write it down here. Flomax. Flomax Plus. Huh? Hey.
My new favorite hate watch commercial wise is if you thought that the Joe Namath and the Jimmy Walker and those are bad, it's when what's worse is when they try to put all the same information into dialogue. It's the worst. With the angry wife trying to keep her angry attitude for the entire minute.
Did you make that call? Did you make the call?
We have Medicare. We have Medicare Part A and B, not Part C, commonly called Medicare Plus.
It is
commonly called Medicare Advantage.
So you're saying that's superior? That's worse.
That's worse. It's worse, but it's fun to watch this woman try to keep that shrill, angry attitude through so much just total information. But to their credit, they never had the dumb husband say, "Tell me more."
Well, it hasn't.
That's the word. That's the most Bush League right there. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Are you going to make that call? First of all, the other thing I think that they can let go at some point is the value of a free call. I don't think that.
Right. No, I think they still have like the 88 and older are worried about long distance fees at this point.
Well, and they're also they'll get excited that keep the brochure.
Right.
Keep the brochure.
Right.
Who wants a brochure at this point?
Who makes you send back a brochure? And when has anyone ever made you send back a brochure?
I'd also like the other one where the people are going,
"We won't get mad at you if you called last year."
Yeah, there's two people. There's a comedy duo of ladies who calls, and they say, "What?" And she goes, "No, it's true. This is getting better. This is better than I thought it would be." And are there any plans that are better than the one I have? Well, there's one where you pay nothing. Get out of here. Get out of town with that. And then she goes, "Is that the one I should get?" Well, there's so many to go over. Like they're showing the pitch to you that there's this woman who you're going to talk to. So they go, whoa.
Right.
Madge.
The two women waiting to call bullshit on the unflappable operator.
Thank you, Place for Mom. Thank you, Place for Mom. I wouldn't have known
Here seems to be the only business that's trying to get in the business now. Do you need a therapist? Call BetterHelp.
I've been keeping my mom in a storage bin. Do you have a better place?
Well, yes, we do. Yes, we do. I like that voice. Oh, God, I forgot 7 things that I was going to say.
Yeah.
And 9 things that I shouldn't. Sounds like a country song.
That sounds like your book, 7 Things I Was Gonna Say Before You Die.
7 things I was gonna say. Do you know what the Monday night game is tonight? I know I'm taking podcast time. Doo-dah. I'm asking questions on podcast time. That's not appropriate. Woo!
Oh, you could look it up. It's called the internet.
I can't. Go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Okay, because here's what I'm saying.
My flow.
I'll tell you why. Don't try and look at the Spectrum Guide because the Spectrum Guide really sucks. Will I be able to find...
Is it telling you the wrong music choice to make?
No. It's like, you want to watch USC could be on Pac-12 too. Oh, we won't tell you USC's off this week. No. If you put USC football, it'll go to 1977. OJ punches a guy in the face. Wait, what year would be OJ? 1968. OJ beats the who's, you know what? I can't even have my life can't even, because and I'm not mad at my father, but I'm still watching Indiana for 2 or 3 seconds when they come on. Yeah. Why couldn't he have gone to Notre Dame?
So you could root for the Catholics?
No, but, well, here's the thing though. When he went to college, they had a decent year where I think they won the national championship.
Yeah. Building
up a lifetime of disappointment for me, because they always sucked. They always sucked when I was watching them in 1968.
Well, who gives a shit about their parents' alma mater's team, really?
Me, I did.
It's useless. Back your own SUNY school.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people say I would love to be Josh's kid. I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure. I think you're a strict taskmaster or something.
You think?
Yeah.
Have you met my kid?
I have.
Yeah.
Everybody who's in your life who meets you says, you know what? He tries the best. I was trying to I watch all these true crime things, and I come up with, I keep having this fantasy that I'm going to do an opposite sketch with Josh Mankiewicz where, it's like, who wouldn't want to kill Eileen? Like instead of the usual, nobody wanted to kill her.
All right.
And so just to think, oh yeah, she did these watercolor things. Horrible, drab.
It was an embarrassment to everybody.
Her friends hated her.
We had a pool of when she was going to get murdered, actually.
Look, just because I celebrated when Elaine was killed, it means nothing. There were 4 parties just on my block. I didn't hire the confetti. Because, there's a lot of true crime things that have that in there. Where it is a gruff neighbor who I still think you shouldn't be that gruff when the police are looking at you.
Right. Or at least when the documentary crew shows up.
Yeah, that's right. But they're always like, maybe a couple of times I said I'd strangle her till our eyes pop out.
It's a figure of speech. Where I come from.
Oh, I don't know. I was very proud of myself about today, and I realized that I'm talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself because I realized that I can adjust a boom mic.
All right.
I can't do anything under pressure.
Yeah.
I told you.
That's a good realization of yourself.
That's why I told you I'm not Sully.
Right.
So, for example, tonight I've been saying not tonight, I know it's the morning, but for years I said, I just guess these headphones don't have right and left on them. But and every once in a while I'll make I'll look and see, do I see? Tonight I said, maybe I could look at it more slowly more carefully.
Yeah.
And within seconds, I realized
it's like a neon R.
Yeah, it's right there.
Neon L.
R and L.
Yeah.
Are there? They didn't make the one set that's perfect, no matter what your ear configuration is.
That's right.
And I realized, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's a closing item to this that I realized.
Okay, good.
I'm going to tell it to you, and I'm going to get sympathy from my therapy tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I think that door's closed with you now.
The sympathy part?
Well, yeah, the whole therapy and, I care about you, Andy, and I'm sorry you went through that. When I was a kid, so I realized another thing.
Okay.
Things I remember when I was a kid that seemed cute, I think now are not cute.
Huh.
So the story was, Andy's so cute. He couldn't learn to tie his shoes. So he came up with this other method. Isn't it cute?
That's kind of cute. If you came, it's the other method that makes it cute. That he still had a can-do spirit. That's how it was sold. Not a can-do ability. Right. Yeah.
You know what the other way was, right?
He's so stupid he couldn't tie his shoes.
No. No, my other method for tying the shoe. Oh my God! Don't go so quickly to the. Wait for the whole question to come out. What was my method?
Tape.
No, I would get one loop.
Yeah.
And then I would make another loop with the right. And I would tie those two loops together.
Okay. I mean, once you get into the details, it becomes less cute.
So here's my.
And then you'd have to ask your parents to get you out of your shoes at night.
My theory is that my mother was not very mothery.
Right.
And so something happened. If you look, you go, I'm sure when your mother taught you to tie your shoes, that was fun, right?
Right.
Not the other stuff when she was deeply depressed. But the shoe tying.
That went well.
So that's my conclusion. I'm not saying we close with that, but I'm just saying that it was a psychological breakthrough for me to see that. And also for me to realize I'm not stupid. I can put up the mic stand. But in that moment, you actually get a little bit like when the initial moment happened that you thought you were stupid. It comes back. The theory is your thing that shocked you when it's in the moment, you're kind of in the way going back there again. Not the same way, but you're going, that panic is primal, goes all the way back.
This is shoe tying panic?
Shoe tying panic. There's a lot of connections with it because.
Well, we'll discuss that next week. I'm afraid our time is up.
All right. I thought it was dinner time. Time flies by.
It's all we really want. It's all we really need. It's what keeps a hungry child. It's what sets a slave free. And love and understanding. Love and sympathy. Love and understanding. It's all we really need. Well, lady, now. When I fall to my knees, now pray. Oh, thank the Lord for the life that's yours. I'm gonna love and understanding, love and sympathy.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi.
I wore a nice shirt today.
Yeah, and then you changed?
Oh, God, that hurt. I guess because I wasn't ready for it.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking it's a nice shirt. He'll say, wonderful shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know if I can go on with the questions with this kind of, oh, God, that hurt. My mother died in this shirt, asshole.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe you should wash it.
Let me come up with a better story.
All right.
My father died in this goddamn shirt.
Yeah.
And it was too small for him.
And you dug him up and got it?
Okay, that's it. I'm allowed to go a certain distance.
Yeah.
Which is considered appropriate.
Uh-huh.
You took it to a dangerous, angry, hurtful area. And I think it improved a bit. Now, Josh,
yes,
I'm rationing my Adderall now. I really am.
Are you
rationing
really there?
it.
Okay.
Well, because here's the thing. I'm very scared that people are going to take away my drugs. And I know there's someone, and you'll be the first person to go, he didn't really need it. Oh, yeah, he had ADHD. I'm sure he had cocaine disease in college.
You know what I say about the Adderall shortage, Andy? Try not to focus on it.
That's a great joke. Did you already do that one?
I did it. No one really cared.
Because you know why? Because, and I'm being honest about this as opposed to dishonest.
Yeah.
Twitter doesn't appreciate my beautiful, and you're beautiful, subtle. That's not what they usually
they
like.
They really do not. I've learned that over time and stuck with it anyway.
Yeah. You know, the worst thing for me, though, Josh, I'm not scared about dying. I'm not scared about I would be... to be found, one thing to be found dead, but to be found dead in a pool of blood, in an above ground pool of blood. That's when you. Now, Josh, I have a couple of questions for you before we begin today.
I'm glad.
Oh no! I just wanted to continue with my Adderall story.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I got my.
He got distracted from his Adderall story.
I got my current shipment, which comes around. So my shipment for November came at around November.
That's how much he gets. It's not a prescription; it's a shipment.
Right. I started rationing last month, so I still haven't finished my October dosage because I'm afraid they're just going to take it away from me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ration until. But when I ordered it, it came right away. So the shortage didn't. Is it still going on, or?
I think it is, but I think it's probably spotty.
Yeah, but here's the other part about it.
Like you're in the pipeline that gets it first, probably.
Right, because I need it.
Sure. Well, no, I don't mean you specifically. I mean your provider.
Oh, my. I didn't even know.
I don't think they have a big chart. Goes. Let's see. Johnson. He'll be okay. Kindler. Ooh, keep him on.
But my provider isn't that just like any pharmacy?
I don't know, Andy. I don't know.
You went along with me for 2 or 3 questions. I was so impressed by your Viv and Vim for the subject. So I still haven't gone into my November stash yet.
Yeah.
So
they say it's about a month, so you should be fine.
Oh, okay. But no, here's what I don't like when they start into the whole. And while we're at it, people who don't, I believe this is true.
Yeah.
People who don't need it are taking it, and it brings up a whole thing of why do we have all these drugs? That's what I'm afraid of. It goes into a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Where they won't let me have Adderall.
I understand your thought process, but I wouldn't worry.
Okay, good. Hey, you know what's a little bothering me, and I hope that this doesn't affect you, but the fact that your windscreen your windscreen stays on my mind.
Huh.
Do you get the joke?
Yes. I remember Windsong.
Do you know what Windsong is?
It's a bad perfume.
Right. So I say, what's a windscreen?
What's a windscreen?
Yeah. It's like a thing on your mic, right?
Right.
So your windscreen stays on my mind. I would have killed again.
Oh wait, now I don't get it.
Because your thing is slightly off.
Yeah.
And so I can see the mic underneath it, and it's bothering me.
Oh, I don't care.
No, but if you would just even it out. Also, why is yours gray, a lighter gray?
I actually I got a different colored one so I could keep our mics separate when you were coming here.
Oh, that's so nice. You know, I buy those. They're pretty expensive. They're like 45 of them for $1.50, I think.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you, baby. I got under the skin, didn't I?
Yeah. How's that?
Because now you're adjusting. What would be my point of getting under your skin?
I don't know.
Have you seen the new Congress? It's looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah.
They're going to investigate Hunter Biden.
Sure.
Which they're going to tie. I didn't realize this. They're going to tie Hunter Biden to everything else. I didn't realize that.
He's the linchpin for everything, yes.
I did not know that. And he's not, doesn't seem to be, he seems to have Hunter's had a lot of difficulties in his life. And he's had some drug issues. And I'm amazed that he's been able to master plan this whole thing. Or maybe he's just a tool of the people who are using him. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what they're saying.
Well, I think he's like the Jews. He's both a mastermind and shit.
But here's the thing. And I hope you agree with me. No, I don't care if you agree with me. It's going to be, I couldn't be more happy right now because the Republicans are always going to be, they're a horrible, fucked up party. So they're always going to be doing something bad. So let them for the next 2 years be the do nothing Congress in the House.
Sure.
And I'm excited about it. And then in 2024, we will take back both houses and I will be thrilled. And yet I will find something else to complain about.
I think you will.
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid that the whole world might get destroyed. Biden's doing a good job, but what if some, you know what I'm saying? You dirty bomb this thing.
Bad things can happen. It's true.
No, but you don't tend to worry about the things that you can't control, right? Or
I try not
you
to.
do?
I try not to. Of course I fail sometimes.
But why are you so much better adjusted than me? Why do people say to me, look, Andy, you're handsome. You look great. But Josh has, why would they say that to me? Andy, you're definitely more handsome of the two.
All right.
You're both handsome Jews, but Andy, you're getting a lot of the ladies are going after you. So I don't know, what was my follow up to that?
Why am I better than you still?
Yeah, why are you better than me now? Why are you better? How come your life's all together? Why are you wearing a Satch Sanders hat? You're wearing a Satch Sanders hat today.
No, I'm not.
You never had a hat like this, though, kind of like...
No,
boop.
I'm not. It's just an angle thing.
Okay, I think I've gotten all of my fumferoy out of my system, and I'm really ready now. Should you want to go into the mail, or if you have any other concerns of your own, I'm ready. My mind is focused. I'm ready to tackle the job of podcast sidekick. This is all what... Oh, can you play some music to cover up us starting into the questions, please?
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Thank you. How does Pickles do it, do you think?
In advance. Planning.
But wouldn't it be somebody else who comes along and go, I'm gonna one up to Pickles?
Maybe they just maybe everybody likes Pickles being there.
You know what? That shows that we're a group of people who are together. Pickles says cleaning out the garage today and found what's basically an updated Mr. Microphone. And let me tell you, the people in my house can't fucking stand it. Fuck them. Question for you guys. Will I have lost interest in singing home karaoke by the time I hear you read this?
This was September 17th, so 2 months ago.
I think you get tired of it.
For sure.
It's like
2 months? Yes, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, you get tired of karaoke. But I understand I often walk around the streets trying to bring people into my singing world.
Actually, Andy was the one who coined, "Hey, good looking, we'll be back to pick you up later." Which was used.
Hey, good. That, I, as a teenager, I made a meal out of jokes about Mr. Microphone before I was a comedian.
Sure, we all did.
And at Halloween parties, I would always go, not always, but several years I go as Mr. Microphone.
Did you? As the actual microphone or just a guy holding a mic?
Just a guy. I never was elaborate. I'm not a cosplay.
But you learned the word through our show, which is nice.
Right. But how did I operate the... Oh, I couldn't operate the Mr. Microphone. It wasn't loud. They just could tell it was a Mr. Microphone. That was the Halloween joke. It was a bad costume.
Ah, gotcha. Johnny Whoop says, how do you stop a compulsive talker? Like I would know.
Well, oh my God. How do you do it? Maybe you can give him some tips.
I don't know. I've never
You've
cracked
stopped
it.
me.
I've never
You
cracked
have.
it.
I don't think that.
That's well, you know how you do it? Andy, I took a big greasy bear shit this morning.
Okay. Kumak says, if you're enjoying something like Lenny Bruce or Monty Python and they use a reference you don't know, do you ever look it up to get the joke better or not bother? I try to, but I don't even look up words. I don't even look up words that I've had a problem that I've heard millions of times that I think I kind of know what they mean. I still don't look those up, and I want to.
What does stifle mean? I just don't know. I do not look up Monty Python words because I know it's always a British local reference. I might do a Lenny Bruce because those are old showbiz references a lot of the time, and I might want to know it. But you also have to just go. You also have to factor in the poor shelf life rule for any comedy that you're watching.
Oh, so because some things are not going to be last forever as to be timeless.
Right. References are fleeting.
Right.
You know that better than me. I made a Gene Dumanian joke the other day that.
I would get it.
Elon Musk is the Gene Dumanian of social media,
and that went viral.
It did not go viral, but it was a lot of people going. I had to look that up.
Yeah, because that's something that I think that's something that's in our mind because we can still remember it as an event.
Yes.
How old were you when that event happened?
But at least Lorraine Newman went oof. So that was good.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 9.
What? Okay, so you weren't even aware.
No, I was totally tuned into it all.
You were tuned in that he left for a year and Gene Dumanian came in and Woody Allen was around?
No, I wasn't tuned into the Gene Dumanian aspect, but I was certainly watching Saturday Night Live when it switched to SNL 80.
Can you name the cast?
I can name a lot of them.
Let's hear it.
Denny Dillon, Charles Rocket, Gilbert Gottfried,
Elaine, Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
No, she came later. Eddie Murphy, Joe Piscopo. Eddie Murphy was a featured player that year.
Could you imagine if he didn't break through? There
was someone, Gail Mathias. She was.
I do remember her.
She was a Minneapolis woman.
Did you know her?
No,
it's way before your time, obviously.
Yeah. But that's pretty good.
That is good. Well, who's the guy? Yeah, that's very good. It's very hard. You would have to be not a connoisseur. You have to be like a trivia guy to be able to track all the different changes because they overlapped.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Mike Myers was on at the same time.
And by the way, Lorne didn't come back after a year. Dick Ebersol came in.
Oh, those were horrible years. Dick Ebersol was terrible at that job. But he was because he didn't think the show was funny, I don't think.
I don't know.
He
wasn't wrong.
True, but you read that book, one of the first ones that came out, which is all oral histories.
Yeah, the backstage history one.
And there's a Christy Ebersol that comes to my mind. I don't know what that means.
Christine Ebersol.
See? I'm the guy who kind of knows names, doesn't know the context.
It's good to have.
Take it away, Josh. Save me.
M.O. Marks says, I made a joke that didn't land at work today and pulled an off-to-use Andy Kindler line from Home Movies. It's not a bad joke. It's a bad time for jokes. Was that something written for you, or did you make that choice? And then you answered this already on Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this was going to be... Well, this was too early in the week, I think, for me to think it was a question for...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did she...
There was a hashtag. There was a hashtag on it, but, that's...
It's like... I'm not saying that I lie more than most people, but I do try to come up with a story. Yeah. It's very hard to come up with a story when it's staring you right in the face. Test show 283.
So it was written as pretty much what we're going to guess here. I didn't actually read your response, but I just saw
basically, I said I don't remember. Just as an informational thing, that show had excellent scripts, but we also did ad-libbing. So it was like 50-50. I don't remember exactly.
I bet it wasn't 50-50. I bet it wasn't 50-50 at all.
What do you think?
I bet it was more like 90-10 script and ad-lib.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it was more scripted. You're absolutely right. It was not, but it wasn't 90-10 though. It was 75-25 if it was a day. Tweet, 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 tweet. Every little rockin' in the tweet, tweet, tweet. Every little Bahara on the same old street. The wise old Bahara, the big black tweet. Okay, take that big black tweet part out of it. Here's something. We didn't talk about this because I thought it was a depressing story.
Well, now we're forced to.
Jay Leno gets gasoline burns while working on one of his cars. Too soon?
No, he's saying.
Andy, too soon? Whatever you were going to tweet, it's too soon.
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't. Giving you advice.
I didn't tweet because I didn't know how badly he was hurt. Well, one thing I thought that was funny.
It's not funny regardless. There's not really a funny, but go ahead.
The only thing I thought that was somewhat amusing was that I'll be out for a week.
Yeah.
When he said that.
Sure.
That's a little bit. But how badly is he hurt?
I think he's pretty seriously burned.
Well, then I'm not making one goddamn joke about it because I don't have any ill feelings towards him.
Face, arms, chest, I think is what he was.
Do you want me to try to come up with material?
No, I don't think you should.
Okay.
I don't think you should. He was. I mean, if he got hurt doing comedy, that would be something. But you know.
I was thrown off by. No, first of all, talk about someone who I literally have no ill will towards anymore. I have no ill feelings towards.
That's good.
Anymore.
There's really no point in it.
There's no reason to have it. Right. But that's not true of all grudges, Josh.
No. I agree.
There are people I hate just as much.
Sure.
Tweet. The only thing that threw me off was like I never thought that something was spelled like he's doing like here's something, as if Leno doesn't say his G's. Here's something.
Here's something.
Here's something. Here's something.
Here's something.
No, I don't know. I think he's accurate with the N apostrophe here.
But what would be the joke that he would come up? Oh, there's no joke there. He's just saying, don't even go into it.
All right.
I thought there was a joke I wasn't getting.
No, he was saying, since he's talking about Jay Leno, he would introduce it with, here's something.
Here's something. Okay, I'm going to do the follow-up. Tweet Bahara follows up with, apparently... He's still doing it. Apparently, Joshua was Jesus' real name. Jesus was just how Europeans mangled it up. Anyway, Josh is the new Messiah. Is this a true story? I never know with Tweet Bahara because some of his stuff is true and some of his stuff. What I mean?
It would have been Yehoshua, as in Hebrew.
There's a guy who went to shul. There's a guy. Where'd you go to again?
I went to it all. I went to Talmud Torah, which was the name of the after-school Jewish school.
That was my stage name when I was in a Jewish Jewish musicals.
Really?
You don't remember that? I toured as Tommy Torah.
Huh.
It's funny.
Tell me Mora.
No. Danny Mora.
So I am the new Messiah. I think we all knew that already. But
the word Yeshua means what?
Yehoshua.
Oh, it's a reference to God.
No, well, it's my name, Joshua. It's Hebrew for Joshua.
Oh, I thought it was something deeper than that. Because it sounds like
it has that Yehovah kind of vibe.
Well, maybe your name means the anointed one.
But in Christopher Moore's book Lamb, which is a great funny read about his, it's a fake gospel of Jesus from his childhood best friend's perspective, and it's really great. It does a wonderful job of riding the line between irreverent and funny without ever being offensive to anyone who has a brain in their head. So
right.
It's a really good book. It's called,
what is it called?
It's called Lamb by
I'm not going to remember that.
Christopher Moore. I recommend it highly.
Who's Christopher Moore?
Christopher Moore is a sort of is a comedic fantasy-ish writer, sort of. I would put him in kind of Douglas Adams.
Okay.
Kind of genre. I mean, not quite as sci-fi-ish.
Right, but he sounds like a funny guy. Is he around now?
He's super funny. Yeah, he's on Twitter and he writes a lot. He's
Cool.
very funny. I've read several of his books, but Lamb is the one I always recommend to people.
You know what's weird is that I fancy myself as being up with the names. Now, that's not a new name. It's a name I should be familiar with.
Yeah, it's 20 years in, I would say, is his.
I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself. I'm sorry. Did you hear that?
There's a jingle for that.
I hate your stupid face.
I hate your stupid face. Andy Kindler, we hate your stupid face.
Dan Marsh says, hey guys, Andy, is there a specific 1910 Fruit Gum Company song you like? Because I'm listening to some of their most popular tracks on YouTube and I don't get it. Is it one of those you had to be there things? No, it's just the name 1910 Fruit Gum Company.
That's it. That's all it is.
That's it.
I think, here's the thing. There was a commercial when that went like this. It said 1910 Fruit Gum Company. And then it said, so then
The Trogs.
This is the song I thought that they did, but it's not them. Come on down to my boat, baby. Come on down where... That's Every Mother's Son, I believe.
Ah. It might be the 1840 Shipyard Company.
Can you know, this has happened too much in the 60s. I saw a sign that said putrid goats, and I thought it'd be good. There's so many names like that, like the Doobie Brothers. The Doobie Brothers, I actually think, when you hear the story about it, that they just didn't get around to changing it. That does sound real to me.
Yeah.
Like they did it as a joke.
Yeah. And it stuck.
But what I didn't realize, which you did realize, how great their early music. I mean, a lot of their music was great, but I didn't know a lot of their early albums. Of course, Music Plus, Music Choice has edified me.
Yeah. China Grove. Oh, oh.
No, that's not one of their best songs.
No, it's not.
Is that them?
Yes.
I don't like that song. I take back everything I said.
All right.
And then you telling me the things you want to do for me. I'm not blind. Sorry.
Oh, you telling me the things you're gonna do for me. I ain't blind, but I don't like what I think I see. Yoshi,
Yo.
Yoshi, Yamamoto, Yoshi, Yamamoto, the streets, boo, 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 Yoshi, Yamamoto, the streets, boo, boo, doo.
I like that.
Andy, if only Leno had listened to your alternative energy car designs, he could have avoided all this.
No, so that what Yoshi's hoping, because I think a lot of people, it could perk their day up if I said something horrible and got in trouble.
Right.
First of all, I'm not even thinking it, so I can't say it.
Sure.
But I think
Yoshi,
Yoshi...
you did. I mean, there was enough Leno hatred for enough time, so that it is part of your brand, I'm afraid.
Nah, what are you talking about there? Here's something. Well, every once in a while, I still think it's funny to put Leno in some kind of a fish out of water thing. But I used to get notes from the guy at Montreal. Please stop talking about him. The head of the festival.
Really?
Yes. You talked about him half your speech last year. Please.
That's when you brought me on.
I wish I brought you on then. Jason quit the police department. Pardon? Did I get that right?
Pardon.
See, Jason, I don't have the full laptop with me. Hey, Elvis, Spike, I got nothing this week. Just hope you guys and your families are about doing well and that you have a good Thanksgiving. Without it getting creepy, I'm glad you all have been in my life for a couple of hours each week for so long. Love you. Thank you, Jason. We love you.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you trying to propagate the nickname Spike for Andy as well.
Isn't that the name of an Elvis Costello album?
It is.
But what why is that?
Deep dark truthful mirror. Veronica.
There was something you can't go. Here's a guy who's been doing Elvis for so long that he's starting to get confused. There's something you can't go. I'd like some cheese.
I'd like some cheese.
Yeah,
Paul, I'd like some cheese, Paul.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, he'd like some cheese, yeah.
Oh, Paul.
Stephen, Elton Yates, Stephen Elton Yates.
Am I reading it?
Yeah.
Okay. You read the name, so I figured you would.
No,
I thought you planted your flag on it. Andy, in TS282, you were thinking of Art Metrano, who recently passed. Josh, thanks for mentioning Carl Ballantine. They did have somewhat similar acts. I loved them both. Favorite Rolling Stones tune?
I like Midnight. I would say I like Moonlight Mile, might be if I had to pick one. But they have so many great songs. And I'm only picking that one because it's a ballad. What now? Of course, in 282, that's so long ago. I don't remember. How could I possibly remember that long ago?
Right.
Who Art Metrano was?
It was you were trying to figure out who the act who used to do the with the hand thing.
Which you didn't even remember.
I did not. I know who Art Metrano is, but I did not know his act.
He's dead though.
So I never would have gotten it.
He's dead though, right?
He is dead.
You know when he
My
died?
recollection is that he had he fell off a roof 20 or 30 years ago and was like paralyzed or really injured from it, I recall.
Okay, then I'm not going to do the joke I was going to do, so forget it. That's a good. I'm sorry about that. Why do you bring up these things that are so depressing? Seth Dick III says, I was watching the Jennifer Hudson show in a waiting room, and she did an audience bit reminiscent of Johnny Carson, down to giving the folks dinner at the end. Well, what she's doing there, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about Stump the Band or something like that, right?
Right.
But she does. Does she have a band?
Jesus Christ, you're taking this too seriously.
Super Cool Energy. Is the show good? I'll tell you a show that I do like.
Yeah.
I like, not even that, the show that I like. I love that woman, Kelly Clarkson. I love everything she does. I love her when she's selling me things.
She's a delight. That's Kelly.
She's a delight.
I wouldn't watch her show, but she is a delight. I've seen her.
I would go on her show. I would go on her show. This is a guy who's like so full of himself he doesn't get it. I mean, that's what a show I would do. No one's fucking asking you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You do the second set, Dick, unless you have something else to add to the first set, Dick.
There's an Eddie Money tribute concert on right now. I'm having a hard time believing there's an Eddie Money tribute concert on, but we'll go with this premise. And Louis Anderson came out first and called him Edward Money before rambling on about meeting him once. The first performers were his kids. Worst televised tribute? He asks.
Are you setting up, is Seth Dick, first of all, he's a phony person, he doesn't even live, he doesn't exist.
Right.
He claims to have a mother who's called Mama Dick.
The third.
Yes. It doesn't track for me.
Yeah.
But he lost me with this.
Eddie Money
what
tribute.
show was that?
Eddie Money tribute is what he's pitching as reality. And Louis Anderson came out.
Hi, I'm here to talk about Edward Money.
It's all made up.
I once met Edward Money. He gave me such a look. Oh, Louie.
You really are you're able to make a meal out of anything. Dan Marsh says, Josh, it doesn't seem like let's try that again. Dan Marsh says, Josh, it doesn't seem like you're haunted by the idea that you accidentally.
Hello.
I don't understand this.
Do you want me to read it? It'll make sense if it's read properly.
No, but I don't think. Did I not tell you what happened to me last week?
No, what happened last week? Did you finally run over somebody?
I came very close to running over somebody, and I thought that I had mentioned it on the show.
No.
And all of a sudden, the stomach dropped out of my.
Just reading this question?
Yeah, because it still kind of bothers me, although I've dealt with it in therapy. What happened was, I was coming back from an audition.
Yeah.
Not an audition, shut up. I was coming back from a voiceover. Why is that important? So.
Andy worked!
So, I'm driving back home. I'm in the right lane. I'm driving back to our area on Ventura.
Uh-huh.
And I'm on the right. There's two lanes, right?
Right.
So I'm on the right lane. And the traffic is stop and go.
Uh-huh.
So it's going on the right lane.
Uh-huh.
But what I didn't see, and of course the light is green for me.
Uh-huh.
But I did not see that the reason why they were all stopped in the left lane was because there was a homeless person walking just against traffic.
Sure.
So I screeched to a fucking, slammed on the brakes, indicating excellent reflexes,
Right.
and came about that far from hitting this guy.
Okay.
Who then walked by the front of my car, spit on the car, and kept walking.
Okay.
And I have to tell you honestly, it was really traumatic for me, really bad, because it's exactly what I've always thought could happen. And then it was
but
so
it's
terrible
not because you saw him. You know.
Yes.
I mean, your thing is that you did it unknowingly. And
yes.
left the scene of the crime.
But it's not so much unknowingly. It's based on that I'm a bad driver in my mind.
No, it's not just in your mind. Yeah.
So it's based on I'm a bad driver. So that what would happen would be, if I was 21, I would spend probably a month thinking about that event, hoping that people didn't call the police. Because here's what happened. I slowed down after it happened. And I think, well, what's good? But I felt like I didn't want to get out of my car because this guy's still running around. So I thought there was no reason for me to get out of my car. But I was thinking, will people think that I tried to hit him? So I just drove slowly home, which I think was the right thing to do, obviously, because what was I going to stop? And then I think because of therapy and everything, I'm better. It just didn't last as long, but it was really terrible for that day.
Yeah.
I was crying, in fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is, well, it wasn't your fault, first of all.
Thank you.
And you did, in fact, stop.
Right, but I can't believe it.
You did not injure the guy who was crazily walking across the street. You know, so
I think he was trying to get hit.
Maybe, or he just didn't care. He cared enough to spit on your car, though. So there's some will to live there.
Well, yeah, but my therapist made the point, like, he may not even know he's in the street, which is totally makes sense to me.
Right.
If he's walking, it's really the saddest thing right now, because we don't have ways of helping a lot of people, or we do have ways, but we need more ways of helping people. You know, but there's more people because I'm a walker. I can see that there's more and more people who are homeless.
Yeah.
Thank God Karen Bass didn't lose; she won, and maybe everyone's ready now to face it as a thing. I think people are facing it, but there's a lot of resistance to affordable housing or it's the whole system.
Well, there's a big NIMBY problem in this town for sure.
What's that?
NIMBY, not in my backyard.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, I didn't get that at the point. Right.
Because I know even in our neighborhood they were trying to build a shelter of some kind, and there was a huge pushback from a lot of people. Even in our neighborhood.
Yeah, but it's like. It really, really makes me upset because I think that I even myself had to go through this thing. I think I told you this a few months ago where I was like getting more and more scared of people in the street. But when I realized that being homeless should not be a crime, it should not be a crime. And you can't just hustle people and throw them in the paddy wagon. So it's a difficult issue. It's a very difficult issue. But that made me feel like, oh, I get it. This is a horrible problem, and I can have empathy for it. I always had empathy for it, but it was more fear. More fear.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think you can have, I think because mental illness is so prevalent in that community,
yes,
you have to have some caution as well. But compassion is probably the best leading emotion.
Right. I mean, I've had a guy almost like throw things at me, and it's like some people, you can tell if they're that upset and they're coming at you to hurt you, they're more upset you should get away, and they're more upset, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but you don't have, but because I walk all over the place, I really am it's really interesting to examine life, like as it gets dark, and to just see how many homeless people there are. And what a problem! And also just as interesting. It's not interesting, but I see people I've seen for 3-4 years, 2 years.
Yes,
and
yes,
I can name about 7 people who I see them every single day when I go.
Right.
Eddie, Gloria, Sal, Bobby, John, and Scooter.
Wow,
Scooter is crazy. Don't get Scooter started. I liked the look on your face as you saw me. It was a little delightful look you had in your face.
Whenever you start a list.
What is Dan Marsh's
from the creator of a third thing, here's another fun list.
Well, Dan Marsh says, "P.S. Don't worry, Andy."
But he didn't finish. You froze. You never actually finished his question. You just sort of froze once he said traffic.
Oh no! P.S. Don't worry, Andy.
No. The previous question that started this whole thing. It says,
I showed this thread.
It says, Josh, it doesn't seem like you're haunted by the idea that you accidentally drove over a pedestrian and didn't notice. But do you share any of Andy's unlikely fears? Or perhaps you have some of your own?
Oh, I guess I never read it. I was so shocked by the whole thing. And then he adds, P.S. Don't worry, Andy. As you get older, that fear will become less and less irrational. That's another joke, right?
That's a joke, meaning you probably will run over somebody.
Right.
Which
but
is
Dad,
ill-timed, Dan Marsh.
Dad, I do not feel bad that you asked this. It's not your fault. I went into some kind of reverie.
I assure you, he doesn't.
Okay, good.
I don't think I share the same set of fears as Andy, of unlikely fears. But I have certainly plenty, and they mostly are. I have this sort of my fear is like that same flavor as that dream where you're going to a final to a class you didn't attend the whole semester. You know that dream.
Right.
That's kind of the flavor of my anxiety. Is like
that
like
makes
there's
sense.
something's gonna happen that I just like it's a failure of my as an adult that I didn't know it was gonna, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's gonna be some, and it's weird because I've been through most of my fear checklist already in life. You know, I've had cancer, I've been audited, my parents have died, you know, all these things.
Wow. I didn't know you had a bad audit? Or
no, they owed me $40 at the end. It wasn't a bad
audit. But it's always
still
distressing.
Like that's one of the things in life you're afraid of, and it happened.
Yes.
You know, cancer is one of the things you're afraid of in life, and it happened. Yeah. You know, people dying, so-and-so, you know, having my career ended. You know, that's something that it's, you know.
I didn't see that coming, but then I heard some things in the news about it.
You know, so, and yet I still have that sort of innate fear that I'm just, I guess it's a fear of being irresponsible on some level. You know, and I have the showbiz fear of, you know, as I just indicated, you know, I have that constant showbiz fear of this is it. Nothing ever is going to happen again, you know, but I think that's common to everybody.
And that's a self-employed syndrome.
It's a self-employed syndrome, and, you know.
Not a syndrome, it's a concern.
It's a concern, and, you know, and in the position I'm in, it becomes a two-way failure, you know, because at this point, all I can do is create.
Right.
You know, no one's calling me, you know, so I can lower my self-esteem in either direction. It could be lowered by the fact that nobody's calling me, or it can be lowered by the fact that I'm failing myself by not creating something that's, you know.
You need to be less hard on yourself, though. You need to be less
probably, but you know.
I don't mean that as an instruction. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I wish I could, you know. Yeah, or if I could be hard on myself in a more constructive way, you know.
Oh, that's interesting. You see, you don't have the same thing about being hard on yourself, because you don't go the extra route.
Well, and it's not a constant voice like it is for you, you know.
Wait a second.
Or my wife, you know, where there's always where your creativity actually goes into finding ways to berate yourself, you know.
Yes. Oh, I'm good at that. I'm very, very good at that.
I mean, you waste a lot of creativity on ways to fuck yourself over.
I thought it was my fault when the guy started putting poison in Tylenol. For some reason, I just... I'm a person.
I'll stop having headaches. One follow-up question, though. What did you do about the spit on your car?
When I got to see... here's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah.
I had just come, and I'd never been there in my life. I come from the car wash where there's a car in the hand.
Isn't that the way every time you wash your car, a bum spits on it?
Don't use the word bum. You can.
I had to for that joke.
But do you know that car wash place where there's someone like a hand holding a car? It's on Ventura, or there are millions of these?
Yes, I do. Wait.
Okay, Studio City.
Yeah.
So I had just gotten to wash.
That's fantastic.
So I will admit that when I got back home, I did look to see if there was spit on my once finally clean first time since the pandemic.
Yeah.
I washed the car.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't know if you've seen my car, but there's nothing really to worry about. I'm not looking for scratches.
Right. No, I didn't think. I didn't think you took out your chamois necessarily.
I still like it. I still like the word chamois.
Yes. Richard Cole says, Andy, let me assure you in a most sincere grown-up voice, I am not mocking you when I reported my A1C is 6.0. Pre-diabetic means type 2 diabetes is laying in the weeds for me, and if I'm not careful, I'm not a sugar laying in the weeds for me if I'm not careful. I'm not a hashtag sugar monkey. I love other empty calories.
Wow. No, I don't think you're mocking me.
I don't think you're mocking me.
It doesn't sound like he's being mean.
It doesn't sound like he's being mean.
Well, here's the thing. I see a commercial where guys with the free play, what is it called? The free solo play. You stick it on your arm and it tells you what your blood is. Freestyle Libre. And the guy's like, he's a musician. He's going, I use the constant monitoring. I got my A1C down from 8.2 down to 6.7. So he's happy at 6.7, 6.8.
Right.
So I think I told you this. I basically researched, and if you have type 2 diabetes and you're around 6.8, that's good.
That's well-managed diabetes is what that is.
Did we already talk about this?
No, I just...
Oh, that's well-managed.
Yes, we did.
Oh, fuck me. I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't. I was just saying that I learned from last time we spoke is really what I was trying to display.
Yeah, but I didn't. I had nothing that that retained from last week. BD West says,
Tweeter and the Monkey Man were harder for cash. They stayed up all night selling cocaine and hash to an undercover cop who had a sister named Jan. For reasons unexplained, she loved the Monkey Man. And the walls came down. I don't remember exactly the tune, but Angry Bob Dylan is who that was attributed to. I should have.
Did you like writing that song though, Bob?
I didn't. Well, it was with other people who I didn't like very much.
Did you know that Twitter was going to happen when you wrote Tweeter?
I did not, no.
Wow.
I just figured, I'm just so used to everyone copying every goddamn thing I do that it doesn't faze me anymore.
You seem to be in a better mood today. I just want to say I'm a huge fan of your music.
I care, really.
Oh, okay, now you're back to what you were before. Christopher Citro says, I just learned that jaywalking is a 1920s term for country bumpkins. Huh. Jays, rubes, hicks. Too inexperienced to behave correctly in a city. I always thought it came from crossing a street in a J-shaped path. What's something you've learned you've always been wrong about? I never know where the J. I just don't know where the J comes from.
That's what he's saying. It's an antiquated name for a rube or a hick.
Right, but shouldn't it have a? Oh, yeah.
So if you come to a city and cross in the middle of the block, you're a J. So you're jaywalking.
Oh, okay. I get it.
I just think it's refreshing that it's not based on something incredibly racist.
That's true. That's true. When you can find, if you live in America and it's not an Aunt Jemima, it's not an Uncle Ben, you feel like you've had a good day.
Exactly. There's always little things that I learned that I've been wrong about. Usually it's about the way I treated people, though.
Is it me?
Sous Vide says, when Andy and Josh read my emails, and it's a picture of Danny Kaye and Groucho Marx paying respect to Charlie Chaplin in 1972.
Oh, that's a great picture.
It is.
Oh, my God. Look at those. And there's Rosemarie.
Look at those alta-cockers.
Does that not look like Rosemarie in the background?
It looks a little like Rosemarie in the background.
But it's not.
It's not.
Oh, that's nice. Will Pfeiffer parody. Who's Will Pfeiffer, the real one? Is Jules Pfeiffer the real one?
No, people are just being funny, adding parody.
Oh, I see. Will Pfeiffer parody.
They're parodying the parody rule.
Oh! Just finished watching the entire run of Car 54, Where Are You? And thought it was genuinely funny in a way few old sitcoms are. Are either of you fans, or are there any other old sitcoms that still hold up? Thanks. I did not watch that show. I mean, I know those two guys were funny.
Yeah. No, it was a funny show. It was a genuinely funny show, and it was...
was it Herman Munster?
Well, he preferred Fred Gwynn
right.
But it was pre-Herman Munster.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to limit him
and
to
Joey Ross. Oh. But it was also like a multi-ethnic cast. Nipsey Russell was on that show, and
wow,
and they talked about Judaism, and they talked, there was a bar mitzvah episode, and so it was like it had some real New Yorkness to it at a time where other shows didn't necessarily. And
I would love to watch it. Show. Now I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's funny. I think. There's plenty of funny there. Dick Van Dyke Show, of course, holds up.
Yes, of course.
The Odd Couple, Andy loves.
All in the Family, but that's not old. These are not old ones.
No, they're only 50 years old. Yes.
You know what I was thinking? I thought he was talking about the beginning of the Golden Age.
I know, but still, All the Family is 50 years ago. 50, Andy. MASH, 50 years ago, Andy.
I loved Leave It to Beaver when I was growing up, but it doesn't hold up.
I don't think Leave It to Beaver holds up. I think
it doesn't, right?
I Love Lucy holds up in its unique way.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I liked Dobie Gillis when I was younger, but I don't think it holds up.
It's not super funny. No,
it's like not, just hip.
Yeah,
trying to be hip.
Yes.
Addams Family.
Addams Family better than the Munsters for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My World and Welcome to It, which nobody knows, which is William Wyndham played the role of, I think, James Thurber.
Yeah. And it didn't go?
Well, but the shows like that I couldn't watch now, or Hazel,
right,
or any of that stuff.
Sure.
Or any Hazel spinoffs.
Most of the weird, I always found Family Affair to just be bizarre.
Oh, God, that's just a terrible, like, makes me sick.
Bizarre, that show.
I get depressing thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because it tried to be adorable a lot.
I guess, but it was just so weird.
That was terrible. Jody, I watched it as a kid religiously.
Yeah.
So it must have come out when I was.
Did you have a crush on Sissy?
Is that Susan Day?
No, Sissy was the dark-haired older sister of Buffy, or the actual.
Oh, I don't know.
She's the actual daughter of Uncle Beale.
In real life?
No, in the show.
Oh, The Courtship of Eddie's Father is something I liked as a little kid.
Yeah.
But it's probably terrible.
It's not so good. I don't think you want. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Eddie's father. You don't really want that in your world.
Yeah, those were, sometimes I look back at the old they were like stereotypes, some of the old.
They had some of those going, yeah.
Is it me or you?
It doesn't matter.
Tom the Tom says, what's your Comedy City pull? Walla Walla, Washington? Rancho Cucamonga? Other? Was pull mean where do we draw?
I mean, like, what are you gonna, like, what's your go-to is what he means.
Like
if you need a Comedy City.
Well, it used to be the City of Industry, because I would go, the City of Industry, the industry people are here. There's no industry people here at the show. There's people from the City of Industry. Pomona's a good one.
Barstow, if you need something that's a ways out.
George Burns was found of West Covina.
Yeah. Bob
Hope.
What's it called? Rancho Cucamonga was the Jack Benny go-to. Rancho Cucamonga.
Jack Benny was really, I'm not saying anything new, but goddamn it, he was funny. Because there's not a lot of people, Jonathan Katz, there's a lot of people who can pull off being slow and deliberate with their comedy.
Yes.
And he just was the greatest at that. I don't know. Just shut up.
Thanks, Cliff Nestoroff. Bad Idea Society says, any thoughts on the passing of Gallagher? I think we covered that last week pretty well.
Yeah, we did, but nothing has hit me in the. Oh, what I thought was funny was CNN did a whole thing, Jim Sciutto, and they obviously didn't know anything about him, but they were just trying to say he was like back when things were simpler and. I mean, they just didn't know anything about him, obviously.
Right. You know what I'm not feeling about it?
What?
A void.
That's funny.
Voltron of Awesome BA says, how many people did you end up meeting in real life because of Twitter? And will you be sad when it's gone?
I met people who were
who were like going to alternative comedy shows, and I met them on Twitter.
Right. I didn't meet them because of Twitter, but there was many times where I would go, "Hey, I'm J. Elvis Weinstein." And they go, "Oh, I love you on Twitter," that kind of thing, you know.
Oh, that's good. I get that generally. People going, "Boy, I love you."
Well, it's usually the people who I've been in contact with on Twitter. It's not like I'm advertising myself.
No, I know that you're not. I know you're not going, guess who's here?
Right.
M. Bledsom says, "What do I know? Elon is killing Twitter."
What do I do now is what she said.
I'm sorry. That's bad. That's bad. M. Bledsom say, "Well, she threw me up. What do I do now? Elon is killing Twitter. I freaking love Twitter. You guys are here." I agree with her. I don't know if I can go to Mastodon or anywhere right now.
I definitely can't go start over.
Somewhere else.
I can't start over because it's a bad habit ultimately.
Good point.
But I still like Twitter. It's still I don't want to fucking post pictures every time I have a thought. You know?
I know. And do you think it's going to people seem to be saying, "Andy, great to know you. See you on the other side."
That's just drama queenery, and I've been joining in too. But it's, the guy spent $44 billion on the thing. It's not like he's going to go, "Oh well," So it's probably not. It's probably not good. Yeah, it's probably not just going to disappear. But
so you could sell it to somebody else.
But it could absolutely break down in the meantime before he has a fucking plan.
Because he's got a skeleton crew right now, right?
Apparently, like less than a skeleton. I think it's like a bone on a shelf.
That guy's an asshole. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be edgy with it.
But if it does go down, if you thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Yes.
Torben Rolfson says, "What's your level of interest in the World Cup? And are you rooting for anyone? Maybe one of the teams will score a goal."
Yeah, I don't. Is this the World Cup? Like that's a big event every 10 years or 5 years or 4 years?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I probably will watch it, but I'm not interested in it right now.
Team USA. Let's go there. Let's go for Team USA.
Why not?
My favorite World Cup story is when I was in the hospital, and I've told this on the show, I know before, but I found that if you're in the hospital during the World Cup, put it on your screen, put it on your TV, and leave it there, because there will be a steady stream of people who will pretend to be interested in your well-being, who will really be looking at the screen of the World Cup.
That's so
now, they won't necessarily be from your department. It might be a guy from the parking garage who comes to check on me.
But you're getting attention.
But it was hilarious how many people, once they found out that guy has it on in his room, would check in on me.
Did you keep it on just for that reason?
I did after the first day of it. I was literally watching other shit on my iPad. But I was like, it was a dual thing because I felt like I was providing a service for the people who were working and really cared.
So great.
The previous one, I had guys in my doing a remodel in my bathroom who were all Mexican guys.
All into it, yeah.
Totally into it. So I turned the TV on for them, which was a huge fucking mistake.
Oh, they stopped working?
They'd be sitting on our bed watching, Be like,
that is the world sport, so.
It is the world sport, yes.
John Dunbar says, "Are either of you reading the new Bob Dylan book, The Philosophy of Modern Song? How I long to hear Angry Bob Dylan read the audiobook version." Is that a new one of his?
Keep waiting, fuckface.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Because he wants it.
Oh, that's true. Is that a new Bob Dylan book?
Yeah.
And is it one of these like storytelling things about modern song?
I think it's like a list of songs that he considers essential and his thoughts on them. That kind of thing.
I love him. I love him so much. You know I love Bob Dylan, not the angry one, but the real one.
I do know that, yes.
Yeah.
That's why I tried to ruin him.
You did, but you can't ruin it because I'm immune from your. They're immune from your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through.
Well, let me just say you're stupid. Esai76 says, "Before Twitter implodes, I should plug my almost finished book on how to interpret art. It's called Iconography, and So Can You."
I love that one, Esai76. Iconography, and so can you. I hope it's real, and I hope it's not just about Mexican Twitter, because that's all he talks about in his previous books.
Right, yes.
And finally, what's that?
And finally,
go ahead, you do it.
Chaotic Neutral says, "Hey guys, it's not TV. Have you noticed in the Ask Markham ads, their only advice is to lie through your teeth? The only thing I love more than emails and spreadsheets and meetings is the only thing I love more than I think he meant than. The only thing love more than emails and spreadsheets is meetings about emails and spreadsheets. They're honest in the fact that they're full of shit."
I don't even know what this is. Do you?
No, I don't. He's watching
TV. It's not TV.
He's watching higher class commercials than
I get to do, right? Oh, I want to. Well, one commercial that I hated for 3 years is along these lines, which is like, get your employees to do their own bookkeeping. Why are you doing their payroll?
Right.
Each employee should do the payroll.
Everything on their app. Yes.
That is very obnoxious to me, and I can't stand the woman who does it.
Nor does it make sense, really.
Yeah, because why would you? You could pay yourself? Right. Is that the idea?
Yeah, exactly. There's one that didn't get hashtagged, but it was under your request, so I'll read it. Bear the Dad says, Josh once said that a like is a chuckle and a retweet is a laugh. So what does a reply from Andy equal? Just trying to tally my Twitter score before the series finale.
Intimacy. It means it's me trying once again to reach out and be intimate.
Not needy.
And also
not needy then.
Not need. Well, no. There's always. I think there's anything I do. There's a lot of need. Involved. There's nothing I do that doesn't have a certain element of please love me. Oh.